Before we even touch the announcements themselves, we need to slow down and address a massive misunderstanding that has completely taken over social media. Across multiple official platforms, it has been stated explicitly, more than once, that Dragon Ball Super is getting a new beginning through what they are calling an enhanced version. And this wording is important. They never once frame it as just fixing Beerus or just polishing early Super. Every single statement refers to Dragon Ball Super as a complete work, not a single arc. The key detail that people keep overlooking is that this enhanced version restarts with the Beerus arc. It does not end with it. And once you connect that to the January 25th announcement, Dragon Ball Super, the Galactic Patrol, the strategy suddenly becomes very clear. If Moro is meant to be the true continuation of Dragon Ball Super, then expecting audiences, especially newer fans, to go back and watch the entire 2015 run is honestly unrealistic. That series is long, inconsistent, fragmented across anime, movies, and manga. And let's be real, it hasn't aged well in terms of pacing or production. Today's viewing habits are completely different. People want something tighter, something that respects their time, something that gets to the point without 20 episodes of stretching. Dragon Ball Super has always had a structural problem. It never existed as one clean story. Battle of Gods and Resurrection F were movies first. The anime retold them in weaker forms. The manga quietly did its own thing. Then Broly and Superhero happened outside the TV format entirely. For new viewers, it's confusing. Even for longtime fans, it's messy. One of the biggest goals of this enhanced Super seems to be unifying everything into a single, coherent continuity. One version you can point to and say, "This is Dragon Ball Super." And you can actually see this intention visually in the refreshed logo. It keeps the same silhouette as the old Super logo, but instead of flat yellow, it's filled with cosmic, space-like colors, clearly aligning with the Galactic Patrol and Moro era themes the franchise is moving toward. Internally, this project was reportedly called Dragon Ball Super Kai, and there's strong evidence backing that up. The original key visual file name included SK before being altered publicly. While the English Dragon Ball official site removed that label, the logo itself still carries traces of it. And this isn't unusual. Internal names almost never survive to release. Dragon Ball Daima was internally called Magic for a long time. Names change to avoid misleading expectations. In this case, using Kai publicly might have made people assume this was just a trimmed recap like Z-Kai, when in reality, the changes here go far beyond that. The Beerus naming also follows a pattern we've been seeing recently. Dragon Ball Super, Broly. Dragon Ball Super, Superhero. Dragon Ball Super, the Galactic Patrol. Instead of generic arc titles, they're branding projects around the central figure or theme very MCU-like. This strongly suggests Super is being divided into clear, arc-based releases moving forward. Not necessarily seasons in the modern sense, but structured chapters that are easier to follow and market. Now let's talk production, because this is where a lot of confusion comes from. When officials say this project started years ago, people immediately assume full animation production. That's almost never the case. What they're referring to is pre-production. This is where the concept is developed, story structure is outlined, visual direction is decided, pipelines are set, and staffing plans are prepared. It's the foundation stage. The actual episode animation, the part we will watch, reportedly began in 2024. That production overlapped with Daima, which wrapped in early 2025. This overlap also explains why the staff list doesn't look massive. Names like Yamamuro, Takahashi, Onishi, Tsuji, and Ide keep appearing. It's a relatively compact core team, and it's very likely that once the enhanced Super reaches later arcs, some of these staff members will shift over to the Moro project. That could create some interesting timing dynamics where early arcs of the enhanced version and early Moro production briefly coexist. Visually, this enhanced Super keeps the original color palette, but the compositing is completely different. Lighting, depth, particle effects, all modernized. Character design is once again led by Tadayoshi Yamamuro, which immediately caused backlash, and honestly, that reaction makes sense. His designs have been criticized for years, and he was largely sidelined from later Super productions. However, in the context of this project, his return actually makes sense. This is not a full remake from scratch. many scenes will be reused and enhanced, especially dialogue-heavy moments. Bringing back the original designer ensures visual consistency, while the biggest upgrades are likely reserved for fights, power-ups, and climactic moments. That leads to the obvious question, why not just remake everything fully? My answer is timing and momentum. A full remake, even condensed, would push the Moro arc even further back, and after an 8-year wait, that would test fan patience beyond reason. There's also Masako Nozawa's age to consider. This approach balances improvement with forward progress. And honestly, the word enhanced is perfect. It's not a remaster. It's not a full remake. It sits right in the middle. Content-wise, the changes are significant. Episode counts are dramatically reduced. The Beerus arc will reportedly be 6 episodes. Resurrection, F, will receive the same treatment. The Universe 6 tournament arc, which is currently in production, will be slightly longer. Akio Yoku has already stated that this version relies more heavily on Akira Toriyama's original scripts, which were far shorter than what the 2015 anime stretched them into. Another reason is simple fatigue. Fans do not want to relive early Super for the 3rd or 4th time in full length. Doing so would only delay Moro even further. This new Super will blend Toriyama's scripts with anime material, movie elements, manga content, and never-before-seen scenes. That's the real selling point. Even if you've watched Super before, this will not feel the same. Now let's properly address the questions, because these matter. Will Daima transformations like Super Saiyan 4 or Super Saiyan Vegeta appear? No. Daima is not being mechanically merged into Super. At most, they may reference their Daima adventure through dialogue, but the forms themselves are not crossing over. Will Dragon Ball Super movies be adapted, especially Broly? In my opinion, no. At least not right now. Broly is already a near-perfect movie. It doesn't need fixing. Could it be adapted later? Possibly. But I don't see it happening in this enhanced run. Will the Moro arc be faithful to the manga? Yes, but with additions. It will closely follow the manga, while also including new scenes and possibly new characters influenced by Toriyama himself. Even manga readers will have new material to look forward to. Will Goku Black get a different ending? From what I've heard, it will follow Toriyama's intended ending. Whether that differs from what we already know remains to be seen. What about Goku's personality? Manga smart or anime dumb? The enhanced Super promises improved characterization across the board. Expect something much closer to Z. Will the Super manga continue after Superhero? Yes, Toyotaro has confirmed it. Will power scaling be fixed? According to official statements, yes. Will all Super arcs be adapted before Moro? That's the current plan. Will the remake be weekly or seasonal? From what I've heard, the enhanced Super will be weekly, while Moro will be seasonal. This allows Moro to reach a completely different animation level, likely with heavy Shintani influence. And no, copy Vegeta will not be included. Now, before we wrap things up, I want to shift gears for a moment, because something really cool has been happening in the community lately. I've been seeing an explosion of fan art, and honestly, some of it is insane. So I'm starting something new. Once a month, I'll be featuring 5 standout pieces and giving the artists proper recognition. First up is HS Gaming, who absolutely cooked with this Goku Black piece. The energy, the pose, the expression, everything lands. Keep cooking, seriously. Next is Cheyenne, whose Ultra Instinct Goku looks so clean, it genuinely feels like Toyotaro himself drew it. The line work alone is crazy. Then we've got Spinnik Zoom, who recreated Genki de Matsuri in a way that somehow feels more alive than the original. The creativity here is off the charts. After that, Sith with this cell artwork. The emotion, the shading, the atmosphere, it's all there. And finally, once again, Spinnik, this time with a hilarious but insanely well-colored fraud fusion piece that I can't stop looking at. This is why Dragon Ball still feels alive. Not just because of official announcements, but because the community is finally having fun again. Dragon Ball Super is being rebuilt carefully. The road to Moro is being prepared properly, and for the first time in years, things feel planned, not rushed. Let me know your thoughts, sub up if you enjoyed it, and until next time, take care.